Hey, first graders. We're going to talk some more about the aw sound, which is the new phonics sound we're learning for this week. So far, we've learned that there are two letters that, well, four, because there are two different combinations of letters that can be put together that make an aw sound. So the first two letters, remember my little babies here, because when you see a cute baby, you say aw, and that's the sound that these make. So AU says aw. That's the first combination that says aw. The second one is AW, aw. So we have AU and AW that both make this sound, aw, okay? So what I want to go through with you now is the poem that we would have gone through this week. So I'm going to share it on my screen here and we'll go through the poem together. This poem is about a bird, like a parrot, which is called a macaw, and the bird's name is Paul. Right away, you should hear that aw sound. P-all. Okay, so Paul, and then his last name, or what the type of bird he is a macaw. Paul macaw. Right at the end, you hear a aw sound, macaw. So I'm going to read this poem, and then we'll go back and we'll find things that say ah, so either an AU or an AW. All right, Paul Macaw. One day, Miss Hawkins, old macaw, crawled up to watch Miss Hawkins draw. Paul sprawled across Miss Hawkins' knee, then yawned and saw she'd drawn a tree. He watched Miss Hawkins draw some claws. Paul gawked in awe with open jaws. He watched her draw a head, a beak. Paul squawked, then paused. He watched her draw a tail, a wing. Now Paul Macaw began to sing. He somersaulted off her knee. Caw-caw, he squawked. That's me. So let's go through the poem and find some of those ah parts, either an AU or an AW. Go ahead and look at this first sentence. One day, Miss Hawkins, old macaw, crawled up to watch Miss Hawkins draw. Do you see any AW or AU? Look carefully. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't see any AUs in the first sentence, but I do see a lot of AW parts. Miss Hawkins is going to be one that we're going to see a lot in this poem. So anytime we see her name, that's like the teacher's name or the owner's name, Hawkins has an aw right in her last name. One day, Miss Hawkins, old macaw, we know we want macaw because that's in the title too, crawled, crawled up to watch Miss Hawkins draw. Draw, the first part is a blend. You know this part, aw, put it all together, draw. Okay, let's take a look at the next sentence. Paul, there's his name, sprawled across Miss Hawkins' knee, then yawned and saw she'd drawn a tree. So let's take a look. Do you see any for this one that have an AW or an AU? Again, I see a lot of AW, so take a look, see what you find. Sprawled, that means kind of like he spread out or he laid out on her knee, across Miss Hawkins' knee, then yawned. Yawn has an AW, aw, yawn. And saw, that's a popular sight word. First part says saw, put it together, saw. She'd drawn a tree. He watched Miss Hawkins draw some claws. Paul gawked in awe with open jaws. Wow, there was a lot in that one. Again, lots of AWs. One AU over here for the word Paul. Okay, keep going here. He watched her draw a head, a beak. Paul squawked, then paused. All right, now we see some AUs in this part of the story. Paul again, squawked. Oopsies, that one. I'm gonna go back. AW here. Ah, squawked, then paused. Ah, right there, pause. He watched her draw a tail, a wing. Now Paul Macaw began to sing. He somersaulted off her knee. Caw, caw. He squawked. That's me. All right, so there were a lot of aw parts in this poem about Paul Macaw. Mostly we saw a lot of AW and a few AUs, but a popular word that you might use in your writing or sometimes when you're doing another activity, the word draw, that's one that's popular. Also, if you know the word saw, S-A-W, then you should be able to write the word saw, draw, claw, jaw, because all of those words rhyme and they all have that same ending part, which is aw. In this one, it's A-W. So if you know the word saw, if that's a sight word that you know, use that sight word saw to help you to write other words like draw and claw and jaw and caw if you're talking about a bird. All right, so that is our sounds for the week. Remember A-U, A-W, both say aw, and see if you can find some of those in some books you're reading today. Have a good day.